DeSanto Propane is 4 generations strong as a trustworthy, family-owned business with unmatched customer service. Go online at DeSantoPropane.com for more info or call toll-free at 1-800-752-4574 today. Since 1937, the difference has been DeSanto Propane.
Keith Kaminsky, Bucky good in the ball!
Santel, all the way to the basket, foul, lays it in for 2!
Hello, high school basketball fans. Welcome to the Upstate Hoops Podcast here on Monday, February 16th, 2026. If you're a high school student, congratulations on your week off for President's Week. If you're a high school basketball player, some games to be played this week still. I'm Jim Sinacropi along with Paul Russo and Kyle Evans here inside the FingerLakes1.com studios at 12 North Park Street in Seneca Falls. And this is it. This is our last standard episode of the year, our last power rankings, even though there are some games. But the next time you see us, we'll be breaking down brackets as sectional play is finally here upon us. Valentine's Day's in the past, President's Day's today, March is just around the corner, the Blue Cross Arena awaits. So let's get into it here. Fellas, how's it going?
Tremendous. It's great.
It's a good time of year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even in regular sports, the football season ended, but yesterday we had the Daytona 500.
Oh, yeah.
Pebble Beach, the NBA All-Star Weekend. Syracuse plays Duke tonight.
Really had to put the NBA All-Star Weekend in there?
I watched for about, 3 minutes maybe.
More than me.
Flipping through. But anyways, we're here to talk about high school basketball. And, let's get into it by taking a look at the week that was here in Wayne Finger Lakes high school basketball, starting with the boys. And there you see all the results. I mean, you saw Minders lose to Newark by, 41 points. And then go to Geneva and take them down to the last possession. I mean, how can you make sense of that?
Sports.
I guess. I just, that game against Geneva makes me think that, maybe Minders can make a run in B1. It's not a very strong division, but it just doesn't make sense. It's the same team that lost to South Seneca a week ago, got lost by 41 to Newark at home, and then they go to Geneva. So, I don't know. That's but there were a lot of games of consequence on the boys' side. What's standing out to you fellas from the past week?
Well, taking a look at that, kind of keep it a little bit, I guess, on the Minder side. But I was pretty impressed with Whitman's week overall. I know it's a bit of a rebuilding year for the Wildcats, but they did beat Minders last week as well in that, and they also have some JV kids kind of up and playing as well in this deal at this point. So
yeah, they played a good game against Naples.
Yeah, Coach O'Connor kind of letting the youth kind of play this deal out, and who knows, nice little blue and black for next year there. Other than that, kind of an FL East kind of heavy week for me, consequence-wise, but yeah, I mean, kind of the teams that handled business as usual kind of handled it as usual.
Yeah, when talking about Minders, I forgot they did lose to Whitman in there as well. So,
yeah.
How about you, Kyle?
Yeah, I really only had one other game than what you guys already talked about, and that was Tuesday night. Ganonda blew out Sodus, but it's worth mentioning because Cooper Grossel broke the all-time scoring record at Ganonda.
Yep.
Passing Jaden Castorcini. I think I said that name right.
Yeah, I remember him. I remember Enrique Mossman. I don't know if you guys remember him.
No, I don't remember him. But yeah, anyways, 1,103 points. He had 31 in the game, 8 threes. So yeah, Ganonda, right there.
Yeah, good team. They got 3 losses on the year?
Yes, 16-3.
Yeah, it's not many teams.
2 of them to Lions.
16, yeah, pretty good. Also got to mention Landon Washburn, 2,000 points
Yep.
in Honeoye. Congratulations, Landon Washburn. I mean, and just a junior. I mean, how many points could he potentially have? We talked about this after the show last week.
Yeah.
We were looking at Joe Girard's state record, and he's got no chance of catching that.
No, but for an example, this year he has 651 points, and he has one game left in the regular season, whatever sectionals. If he were to repeat that next year, he's going over 2,500.
Yep.
The question is, does he somehow make a push for 3,000? It's going to be tough, but
Yeah.
the sectional runs will have to be deeper too to get more of a chance. But I wanted to also bring up that he had 39 points in this game. He didn't even play the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I was told that after that shot with about 50 seconds left to get that milestone, they benched him the rest of the game.
Sure.
So, again, I think we talked off air. Imagine if he's playing these full games.
Yeah, and
What
you
he
have
could
to
be
wonder
doing.
what Joe Girard did when he scored the however many 3,000 something points.
4,000.
4,000?
Yeah.
4,000? Jeez. You know, was he coming out of games when they were up 30, 40 points? But yeah, it's so, you know, great. Congratulations to Landon Washburn. And also, you know, I think there's high expectations for Honeoye this year in sectionals for sure. And all the business in Class C is pretty interesting.
Yeah, we talked about it, like a month ago now, a little bit. Kind of crazy to think about in retrospect. But, yeah, that being said, I think they're still not the 1 seed, though, in C2. I think they're still chilling in that second, third position. So, yeah, all to do. Still put them up there pretty high, though. I know we talked a little bit, like I mentioned, about whether, you know, what you can fully expect from, say, a North Star Christian, who's in that mix as well, or CG Finney within there. But, yeah, for a team that was state runner-up last year in Class C, I'd say the expectation might be a bit beyond Blue Cross Arena in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it won't be beyond Class Blue Cross would mean maybe state playing in Far West Regional. State playing could see that rematch with Lions. Yeah, a lot of good teams in Class C. Ganonda's one of them too, right?
Yes, they are. Yep.
So
C1, right?
yeah, and Honeoye C2.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so that Class C playing game, if things go well for our local teams here, could be a Wayne Finger Lakes matchup for sure. East Rochester, right? Class C or Class B2.
It might be B2.
Yeah, I think they're B2.
Yeah.
Yep, B2.
Okay. All right. Well, let's kick it over to the girls' side. Take a look at the week that was, and boy, big week for Waterloo. Tough week for Lions. Lions loses to Ganonda and Williamson Marion. So we'll see how that affects them in the final power rankings here. But yeah, Waterloo kind of took all season to reestablish themselves as potentially the best team in the Wayne Finger Lakes girls. We'll see how it breaks out when we look at the power rankings. But a big game on Friday night, Paul, in Waterloo. That you and Kyle both were there and called as Waterloo beat Newark.
Yeah, so they'll split the season series, which is pretty key there as well. So obviously, you mentioned for, say, Honeoye, but Waterloo girls, that's big for them as well on the sectional side of things to pick up some Class A victory points over Newark there. Yeah, I was left really impressed once again by the Tigers. I think, you know, they are really trending well here, obviously, when it matters most. I think that's kind of one of the key things. We talked with Addison Bree post game as well, and that was kind of one of the things that she even honed in on, was just kind of like everything's kind of going good at the right time when it needs to matter most. So, yeah, it's tough because I did like Newark defensively there for a while. Just sometimes the pressure just kind of went away, and that's where Waterloo was able to really make some offensive runs. So, look, each team essentially has one game left this week to kind of figure things out, and I'd be really intrigued to see for Newark, you know, is it a full-fledged defensive, we'll call it onslaught, if you will, in this final game for them in the regular season?
Yeah, similar thoughts. I just think Newark didn't bring their best game that night. Kind of looked like the Pelmac game, just sloppy, too many turnovers, shots not falling. But again, right after that loss, they went 7-0. I think they'll bounce right back and respond.
Yeah, I agree with that. Anything else? Like the Lions girls had a tough week.
Yeah, I wanted to mention that game. They were up 7 with 90 seconds left.
Wow.
And
You talking about the Williamson-Marion game?
oh, sorry, Ganonda Lions,
okay.
Wednesday night. Lions was up 7. Ganonda just didn't have much going in the fourth quarter, and then all of a sudden something changed. They went and raced that deficit and ended the game on an 11-1 run. Lions missed some free throws down the stretch that really proved costly, and you just wondered. I mean, Lions has just had some of these losses in the last week that this is a bad time to do that.
Yeah, we're talking about Waterloo kind of peaking at the right time. Opposite for Lions.
Yeah, and then Williamson-Marion 2 days later, they lose, there at their place by 10, splitting their season series. So after getting swept, I should mention they got swept by Ganonda this year. They lost both games.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know if you can feel great if for the Lions girls right now they're not playing their best at an important time.
Yeah.
And then I think I had one more. Did I have one more? Oh yeah, the Pelmac girls. Swept Penyan.
Mm-hmm.
Again, winning these big games where Penyan hasn't, except for that Waterloo game. So, yeah, I was kind of impressed with Pelmac again.
Yeah, Pelmac girls hanging around all season. They got a shot at sectionals as well. And mentioned Williamson-Marion beating Lions. I mean, boys and girls in Williamson, good job. Kind of both programs are kind of re-energized here, and see where that goes into the future.
Yeah, just to tack on to that too, I know we're mentioning kind of a lot there, but we talked about a lot the past couple of years how Wayne County girls have kind of really become a really good league again, and I think last week was the epitome of it. Ganonda had a really good week. I know we didn't mention some of the other games involving Clyde Savannah and those, but I think last week was kind of the perfect example of just what the league has been the past couple of years, and hopefully the way it kind of trends and continues in that way. We did have one other, Kyle, I don't know if you want to chip in on that though, Finger Lakes East record breaker occur last week.
So Kayla McCombs, I forgot earlier in the week, before Cooper Grossel the next night, she broke the all-time scoring record in Bloomfield girls basketball history. She had 32 that night, which is a career high, and she has 1,600 points, 1,668 to be exact. And actually, that's gone up because that was all the way back Monday. So she's closing in, I think, on 1,700 now.
Yeah, congratulations to the McCombs family. So yeah, time of year where a lot of milestones are getting set, and generally we're getting, what do we get, about 6,000 to 8,000 point club scores every season, it seems,
give or take. Yeah.
Except this year. I mean,
less this year.
Do you consider 5 kind of low for a year? Or?
I kind of think so. Yeah.
And 2 from Williamson, which is kind of a stunner because, again, you haven't heard much from Williamson because they just haven't really been around, in terms of success. But yeah, Williamson's right in there. The boys still deserve credit, even though, I don't think they're as strong as any of the other teams, but they're playing well.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. And something to build on moving forward. So let's unveil our power rankings, our final power rankings of the year. We don't continue them into the postseason. I know there's a few regular season games to go, but again, these are just for entertainment purposes. And generally this time of year too, the teams at the top of our power rankings are teams that we expect to be there in sectional finals and bring home sectional championships. So let's see where they stand here. Wayne finishes the season at number 1. I don't remember what they started at, but I think they started at 5 or 6, maybe even.
I know they started at 5th or 6th for me.
Yeah.
So.
Great coaching job and great job by the rostered players too. There, they really are a balanced team. Play together, and they definitely earned it. This is the best team in the Wayne Finger Lakes according to us. Geneva, obviously a great year, and then you get Lions, who I believe was number 1 preseason for us. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were number 1.
Probably, yeah.
And they had a great year too. But of course, as always in Lions, if they don't win that sectional championship, it'll be a disappointment. But they're well positioned to do so. And again, for them to finish 3, remember they're a Class C team, C1, where the 2 teams ahead of them are Class A. So just to see Lions hang. As well as East Rochester and Honey, you got those 2 Class A teams, and then you're going Class C for the next 4 spots. 5 spots. Naples, you got to go down to Newark, which is another A team. Palmac is A or B? A, and Bloomfield is B, right?
See.
C. So we don't have any teams from Class B in our boys' power rankings?
Well, East Rochester's B2.
Oh, they are. Okay. So that, but normally East Rochester is a C school.
Yeah.
C1, yeah, usually. Yeah.
So that's I don't think that's ever happened.
Not the year to be a B team, I guess. One interesting note, or I don't know if it's necessarily interesting. Every team in the top 10 this week didn't lose. So literally the way I voted
A lot of changes.
was quite literally the same as last week. I always say it every week. I can't dock you if you win, but yeah, literally this week I was just like, well, I guess it's a carryover from last week for
Well,
me.
I think I dropped Newark in I also elevated Gananda over Naples in my personal rankings. I think those were the changes I made, maybe, but it didn't really affect the final outcome of our aggregated ballot. So, anyways, congratulations to Wayne, number 1 in the power rankings. With that, you and a nickel, you can get a piece of gum.
And they end the regular season on a 12-game win streak.
Yeah, and again, go back to 2 of their losses were in Florida.
Yeah.
So really, 1 loss to Geneva.
Oh, wait, sorry. Does Wayne have one more game? Geneva's out of games. I think Wayne might have one more, but they've still won 12 in a row,
Yeah.
which is incredible.
Yeah, against tough competition, and now they head into the postseason. Class A is the
Actually,
tough
Wayne's
nut
got
to
2
crack.
left.
Oh, 2 more.
Yeah.
2 games
So they
left
can
for
go
Wayne.
on a 14
Yeah,
gamer.
Wayne's got, not to give too much away, but Wayne's got they're away at Palmac tomorrow, and then I know they wrap up with Rochester Prep on
A one-win
Wednesday.
school.
Yeah.
Which I
Yeah.
remember last
Yeah,
time.
that Palmac game though Palmac could test them.
Only lost by 3 in the first meeting.
Yeah.
Palmac.
So maybe we release these power rankings a little too soon, but I
We could revisit on whenever we're doing the bracket.
yeah, I guess for our final. We also got to wait for brackets to come out before we can do our bracket show. So it's a really confusing time here trying to cover, Section 5 basketball. But we do our best. Let's check out the girls' final rankings, and there they are. Waterloo, the first time all year.
Yeah. Crazy.
But big win against Newark at home, and then the Bloomfield girls at number 2. I mean, that's a strong top 3 there. 3 teams that are definitely got their eye on a sectional title, and then there's and so this actually goes a little more in order. You got like some B teams there in Waterloo and Bloomfield, A school in Newark. Is Newark an A? And then
Whitman and B as well.
and then you get down here with Whitman, Lions, Gananda, Williamson. Congratulations to Whitman on a great season. They just get a little better every year. Could this be the year that Liz Royston brings home a sectional championship? They lost one of their best players about a month ago. They haven't really missed a beat. Again, well-rounded roster, solid squad. And then Lions is a team that has really been sliding, since the new year, I guess, down to 5. Gananda girls, always tough. Williamson, Marion, congratulations again. And we haven't seen Williamson or Marion anywhere near these power rankings for the last 10 years. So it's good to see them finish here, top 10 across the Wayne Finger Lakes. Clyde Savannah girls have had an up and down season, but they'll be remembered for what they do over the next couple weeks. And then there's Palmac, traditionally a top 5 team in our power rankings, a little down this year, but still showing that they can compete, and they'll be ready for sectionals. And then Penn Yan, we've talked about it a lot. They had that big win against Waterloo way back in December and haven't really had many signature wins. I think they made it as high as 5 in our power rankings, but they'll finish tied for 9th here. And then HAC receiving a vote too. So which HAC would be C team, C school too, right? C2, I think. So we'll see what they can do in the sectionals. So any thoughts on our final girls power rankings? Waterloo back where they've been every year in recent memory.
Yeah, the girls were definitely tougher, much tougher this week, obviously, than the boys. But look, I voted HAC over Penn Yan for my top 10. I'm sorry to the Mustangs. I couldn't do it this week. And, admittedly, I said to you guys both off air, maybe I docked lines maybe a little bit too harshly overall, but it was a tough week trying to figure out, really, frankly, the middle ground of the girls this week because Wayne County's just been beyond. I mean, it's competitive, but it's beyond easy to try and figure out because they are kind of cannibalizing each other to a degree in this situation.
Lions beat Marcus Whitman this year.
Yeah.
But it's been a great year for girls basketball, I think, in the Wayne Finger Lakes. I think that there's some really good teams that could make some noise in the postseason. What do you think, Kyle?
Yeah, so I think here's the stunner. I don't think either of you guys did this, but I moved Gananda up to 4, and here's why. They essentially have now the best league record in Wayne County.
Yeah.
They just swept Lions literally just days ago.
Yep.
They've split Williamson Marion. They've split with Clyde Savannah. They swept East Rochester. I had to move them up, and I don't know their exact win streak right now, but I think it's 4 or 5. So that's my reasoning for that. However, I had to bump Marcus Whitman down. And actually, I still put them below Lions, and I hated to do that, but Marcus Whitman lost both games to Lions this year by double digits. They do face them again Wednesday.
Yeah.
Weird.
A third
3
time?
times. And to be honest, I just added that game onto our spreadsheet yesterday. I don't think that game was there. I think they just added that game recently. Because usually they wouldn't play 3 times in a season anyway.
No, nobody would.
That must have been an add-on. Anyways, back to this. Penn Yan, I had to drop them to 10. I put Pelmac above them. Pelmac just swept them.
Yep.
And how about this? Pelmac and Penn Yan now have the same league record.
Yeah, Palmax
You
really
would have never thought that.
clawed back after a horrid start. And like we said, Penn Yan, with that win over Waterloo, it was like 28-26 or something.
Yep, 29-28.
29-28. That the glow of that victory is long gone.
So Penn Yan has lost 5 of their last 8.
Yeah.
So I had to drop them to 10. I could see why you put HAC in there, Paul, that they win. I get it. But if Penn Yan and HAC faced off, we know what will happen. But that's the thing here. You could choose any way you want to do these rankings. But, yeah.
I will back you up, though, Kyle, on the Gananda front. I did put them up. I had them at 8 last week. I did push them up, actually, to 5th. So I'm with you on that front.
Yeah, some big wins, but also some questionable losses, I guess.
We did forget, too. We were in a kind of a pinch no matter what something bad was going to happen. Marcus Whitman, shockingly, swept Gananda.
Yeah, how do you make sense
So
of
I don't know
that?
how you can – there's no actual right way
Yeah,
to put these.
but it's fun when there's parity.
Yep.
For sure. And any night you got to bring it or you're going to get a loss. So it's been a competitive year on the girls' side. And it's also been a great year on the guys' side. Great year of high school basketball. And now we transition to the best part of the year, the actual sectional playoffs. But not quite yet. There's games this week, the next 3 days. Today, you're looking at a few games on the docket. None of too big a consequence. Marcus Whitman at Batavia. It'll be a good chance for Marcus Whitman to get a little something maybe going heading into the postseason. Naples at Keshequa.
That's a pretty interesting one. Keshequa's a top 4 or 5 team in C2, I think it is. So
And Naples has been tough Naples has not had as tough a schedule as Honeoye, for
this
example.
is an interesting week for Naples because they also have Bloomfield on the road Wednesday, which Bloomfield boys have had a really good second half to the year.
Yeah.
So
Well, that'll be a pretty big game for Naples too. It's like we kept wanting to give Naples more credit for the great season they're having, but there hasn't been a lot of tough games against tough competition. And when they did face Honeoye, they lost twice.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see if they can get through the final week here with a couple of wins. East Rochester boys at Williamson is a pretty interesting matchup. Gananda at Avons is pretty interesting. Minders at Waterloo, big rivalry game. Both teams just having poor seasons by their standards of the programs, but the slate will get wiped clean come sectionals, and they both got a shot in Class B. And then Wayne at Pelmac, as we talked about earlier, is probably the premier game of the week. A chance for Pelmac to get a big win heading forward, and Wayne, of course, wants to keep things going. Wayne having to go to Pelmac, that's a big rivalry game. A lot of people down here where we are in Seneca Falls in the in the eastern side of the Finger Lakes East, we don't
Battle of Route 350.
yeah, maybe recognize some of those rivalries up there in the northwest section. So let's take a look at the girls. Penn Yan at Bloomfield, that's a pretty good one. We just talked about Penn Yan. Really needed to maybe pick up another signature win. There's a chance there. Waterloo and Minders girls, another rivalry game. Probably might not be quite as competitive as the game on the boys' side, but again, same thing with the Minders girls. Can something click in prior to sectionals here to kind of propel them forward? Pelmac girls going to Wayne. That's a good game too. ER Clyde Savannah on the girls' side should be a good one. Clyde really needs to take care of business this week and keep their seed up heading into sectionals. What else we got? Oh, that Whitman Lions game's is a pretty good one too on Wednesday. So light slate.
Yeah.
School's off. A lot of those are afternoon starts in only 3 days. And then we look ahead to sectionals, which I don't know. We didn't really talk about. We're hoping to do the bracket special on Thursday, but I don't know if they're going to come out by then.
I feel like they're not gonna.
Yeah.
We might have to be targeting a very rare Friday show potentially here to do the brackets. So, although I don't know. I mean, it's up to you guys. We can work this out on the fly here.
We can do them next Monday too,
Yeah,
even though some games will be completed.
The only action that I have listed on my thing is boys the Class C. Essentially, they're playing games where it's like 16 and 17 seeds are happening on Saturday. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
So
we could just roll it on Monday and not worry. But.
Well, let's plan on rolling it on Monday, but we'll wait and see if we happen to pull it together by Friday. But that's usually a full hour at least.
Yeah.
We want to get it out there. We want to look at the bracket. Well, it's very exciting to look at the brackets, see the potential matchups, especially semifinal matchups. A lot of these teams that were in our top tens could be online for semifinal matchups. Sometimes doubleheaders, sometimes as much as 3 Wayne Finger Lakes teams in a semifinal doubleheader somewhere.
It tends to happen.
Yeah, yeah, and it's to me, those semifinals, those doubleheaders are the best nights.
Not to go completely off topic here, wholly, but before we got here, I did want to ask you guys, and I apologize in advance because I didn't prep anything for this. Have you guys seen the video out of Canandaigua from Friday? You have the ball.
Oh, it stayed up on the back of the rim. Yeah, that was wild.
I linked it in Friday night to the article.
Yeah,
if anyone
that's
wants
how
to
I
check
saw
that
it.
out. Yep.
I had to watch it full screen to see where the ball actually went. It never came down.
Yep.
And the horn went off before a jump ball call, right? So that would be the end of the game.
Yeah.
Time ran out.
I just wish more people understood the rule you have to do with that. I kind of liken it a little bit, and Jim, you'll fully understand this front. It's kind of like in golf, where the golf ball, if it's kind of the opposite in this situation. But in golf, right, if the ball is still moving, you
got
cannot.
10 seconds once you approach it.
Correct. You cannot approach anything like that. It's kind of like the opposite in a way in this scenario, but it's like my best example of like the rule in a sense where the refs in that situation can't just blow it dead because it might appear that it is stopped. They have to wait X amount of time before they can blow it dead.
And in that time, the buzzer went off for regulation.
Yes.
So
it's not some big. I've seen people talk about it. It's not some big conspiracy or anything like that. Everybody did what they were supposed to do. Yeah. It's a shame that it ended the way that it did, and it's weird that it ended the way that it did, but it's not anything uber crazy.
That ball's still up there, you think?
You never know.
Well, it was Friday the 13th.
That is true. Good call.
Wow. That was pretty wild, and I did see it on Kyle's update on FingerLakes1.com. I watched it once, and I couldn't really tell in the small window, so I made it full screen, and I was like, wow. Then I started to think about what the ruling should have been, and like you said, they got the ruling right.
Yeah, there are processes.
Yep, good officiating.
Yeah.
Which I think the officiating in high school basketball, for the most part, is pretty solid. We're lucky to have a good group of officials. A lot of them been doing it for decades. And some new younger guys. Actually, there's some guys that were younger and new when I was calling games like in 2012, 13, 14, 15, that now have become like
They're the vets.
yeah, yeah, and it's fun to see. But I do think that overall they do a good job here in Section 5 with the officiating.
Speaking of that, too, me and Kyle had a first as well on Friday night in Waterloo. The first ever, at least to me, that I've seen in person for high school flop warning. So that was
really?
Yeah, that was a
Against who?
Newark. So first time I think we've ever seen that. That is a rule I've only ever seen really.
Was that on a block charge type of deal or a shot?
Yeah. I can't remember who drove in for Waterloo, but I also can't fully. Was it maybe Martiana Chance? I think
I think
for
it was
Newark.
Chance, yeah.
And look, I give her credit for trying, but like it was very clearly like she fell before whoever was even like close enough. But,
So she was. They gave the warning to the offensive player.
defensive
player.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Luckily, it's not like the NBA or WNBA.
If you're gonna
where
flop,
fine.
that means you're taking yourself out of the play.
Yeah,
So isn't that punishment enough?
I guess. I don't know.
Don't get the call.
Yeah.
I don't know what the official rule on that is.
That's the first
The
time
soccer thing.
It's the first time I've ever seen it at the high school level be called. On the couple of years now that they've really, at least at the professional level, make it a point of emphasis. So you hit Friday the 13th, indeed, Kyle, last week.
Guess so. So anyways, that's our plan. Season finale show, our bracket breakdown show is coming up either the end of this week or at worst case scenario Monday. We won't know until we see when the brackets come together. If they come together, and there is a good chance that they won't come together until Thursday night, which is a lot of work for us to get in order for a Friday show.
I believe the seating meeting is Thursday, essentially afternoon for both boys and girls, from what I've seen. So it's one of those things where at that point, it's up to the technology gods of what gets released when. So,
and I want to see where the semifinals games could be slated. They don't release them right away usually.
We haven't been to HFL in 2 years. I'm depressed.
Yeah, that's usually a place where the girls played every year.
Yeah.
But things change with athletic directors, and it's not easy for these schools to host these things. But yeah, lucky that some of them love to, like Bloomfield.
Yeah.
Bloomfield's hosted more
Shout out to
sectional
them.
semifinal games than probably any other school.
And playing games too. The play down.
Oh yeah,
play
the
down,
after
my bad,
after the sectional finals, you come back to Bloomfield and play to get to the Far West Regional, and then you don't see, unfortunately, where we are, kind of in the eastern half of the section, we don't see a lot local.
Usually only those first couple rounds. Where it's-
Occasionally Newark,
yeah.
I've seen a couple in Newark over the years. Waterloo is a great place for it. I saw actually the best sectional semifinal doubleheader I saw in Waterloo involved Minders, Clyde, I can't remember who the other one, but Minders was playing Clyde. And then there was another game. I want to say Lions, but I don't remember. It might not have been Lions. But, if we get teams, of course, that Minders was a Class C school that year. But if we get teams, from this Minders, Waterloo, Clyde, Newark
area.
Yeah, then it could happen because Waterloo is a great place to host that type of event. So anyways, we'll have to wait and see. But there's a lot of unknowns. When the brackets come out, there'll be less unknowns, and then once the play starts, there'll be even less unknowns, and then finally we'll know who we're going to see in the Blue Cross Arena or Rush Henrietta for the girls or what.
To be determined from what I've garnered. Last year was what, FLCC, I think, right?
Yeah.
And it kind of seems it kind of rode. I'm about to say, in the time at least that I've been doing games with you, Jim, at this point, I've been to, for the girls, Gates Chili, FLCC, and Rush Henrietta.
Yeah.
So, who knows? But they're all great facilities. I will say that.
Gates Chili is probably the best to call the game up top.
Yeah, on the track. Yeah.
Rush Henrietta, you're on the baseline, but it's a great venue.
Mm-hmm.
And where was the other one? FLCC. Yeah, that's all right. And then of course the Blue Cross, a totally different world for the players and the fans and the broadcasting crews. So anyways, yeah, good week ahead here. you get the week off from high school, but if you're a basketball player, you're going to practice every day. You got games, and you might get to sleep in a little, depending on when your coach wants to have practice. But other than that, you're grinding away here into the playoffs, and hopefully we'll see some great games and some local teams go far this year. Any parting shots, fellas?
Well, it's always interesting, and these final couple days, because as we mentioned, some teams have one game, rarity that you have multiple. Some just have none. It will be interesting to kind of see the ones who do have maybe not necessarily something to play for, but for sure stuff they want to work on, how it fully plays out. Other than that, yeah, this is what I call we're almost at marathon time for us here in terms of the coverage and stuff like that, and I enjoy it because it's just one of those things that's fun. You always see this is the time of year where it's more or less what I call guaranteed to see good basketball too. So it's
win or go home stuff.
Yeah.
That's exciting in any sport.
And then shout out to you, Kyle, because man, you've been on it all year, and this is your time to fully shine with these write-ups at this point. So
First year I haven't missed a single one. I didn't
really,
yeah. And
it's true actually. Yeah,
I haven't had you help on a high school one at all year.
Right.
Wow.
But anyway, I want to throw out the numbers. We're 631 games down. We have 35 left, and then all the sectional games. So we're going to have well over 700 games in the span of, 3-4 months? 5?
Yeah, and I tell you that number for the regular season really is something. And then I always do marvel at the way the Section 5 tournament committee puts together these sectional tournaments, like in short order, with finding locations, and it's really something, and it's a spectacle. It's one of the around here. It's a spectacle, yeah. It's something to pay attention to, and something to get out if you want. And what does get out, fans and alumni and family, is these sectional games, whether it's the semifinals or a chance to go to the Blue Cross on a Saturday morning, whatever it would be. It's all good time. So we'll be with you all the way through, and then once we power through this, it's spring, pretty much, maybe. Depends what the groundhog
I'll
says.
say talk to us after the thaw this week, and
feel spring-like today. So happy President's Day, everybody. Thanks for joining us again on the Upstate Hoops podcast. Connect with us on Facebook. Subscribe on YouTube below if you're watching on YouTube. And our audio-only podcast is available most everywhere you enjoy your audio content. You can find our show, live stream games, local news, weather, and sports 24/7 at fingerlakes1.com. Thanks for joining us. We will be back for our sectional program. Check out the front page of fingerlakes1.com for that. And can't wait to see the brackets. See you then.
Finger Lakes One.